You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Wanzo.
And I'm your other host, John Paul Leg.
Together we are
Rope Break.
Rope Break. How's every single one of you, family? And hope that all of you have a happy Thanksgiving. All of you are enjoying with your families, eating a lot of food, turkey, however you want to go on it, like mashed potatoes, stuffing,
drinking a lot of beer.
Broken Skull. There you go. Also, it's a time to relax, to just enjoy with your families, loved ones, friends, anybody that you guys appreciate in your life. We appreciate you, so that's why we're going to be talking about the best show of WWE, Paul. And it was a pretty good show, despite we don't have a lot of Ilya Dragunov and a lot of Rampage Brown, just like a promo, just to tell us what's going to happen next week. But despite of that, a pretty good show for WWE NXT UK.
Yeah, and I think another thing too is they know this show. While this was pre-taped and everything, but it's, debuting or airing on Thanksgiving. A lot of people, if they're watching anything, they're watching football right now. So they're probably not watching NXT UK. So you're not going to have your champion be on this episode or anything. But no, we watch it though because we love it. We're diehards. And, this was a solid episode. I thought every match, every segment, everything was good. And, I liked it, so let's get into it.
Exactly. So, just before, Paul, we go and take care of this show, don't forget to check out the AEW Dynamite review, because the War of Wars in Chicago, Paul. CM Punk against MJF.
Yeah, this was great. Like we said, you could have just gave us 2 hours of these guys, and it would have been fantastic. You're nothing but a knockoff version of The Miz. Oh, you couldn't get past the King of Kings. All this good stuff. Go check out our review, obviously, and subscribe if you haven't already. What the hell are you doing? But, besides that, go find this clip on YouTube of this segment. This was fantastic. And, it was pretty much, the main thing of the show. And, Bryan Danielson, Colt Cabana was pretty good as well. So, some good stuff
there. A lot of good things. So, you can find on this show. Pretty solid episode of Dynamite. But let's talk about NXT UK, because the first match that opened this show was Jordan Devlin against Mark Andrews. And Jordan Devlin comes out to the ring. And then, for some reason, Dani Lune is missing. She's a member of South Culture. So, exactly. So, where the hell is she? What's going on? So, So, Mike Andrews has to come out, Flashmore West. He's like, come on, dude. It's like, you have a match, let's do it. So, you see, there's a little bit of, confusion. And also, Mike Andrews is thinking of something else as he's coming out to the ring. But despite of that, you can get to enjoy a really good match, because these two gave us something solid. But in the end, we knew who was going to win, just because Jordan Devlin is 2 or 3 steps higher in the chain, rather than Mike Andrews. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, and Jordan Devlin needed to win. Like we said, he's a guy he's a perfect heel, the way you have him set up, to go against your champion, Ilya Dragunov. So it's perfect. It makes sense. He gets a good win here. I enjoyed this match. Mark Andrews is such a star, too. He's another guy as well who, nothing against Flash Morgan Webster, because I don't want to say he's a Marty Jannetty. But if any of these two is a Jannetty, it's definitely Webster. Because Andrews, to me, he has that believability, in the ring, even though he's a smaller guy. And, when he talks, he doesn't have a commanding voice or anything. But it's you get behind him as an underdog babyface. But no, Jordan Devlin, Devlin side 1, 2, 3. And I like the way, he kind of released him, and then Andrews just fell on his neck and stuff. This was real good, but Devlin needed the win, and great opening match, I think, to start this show.
I agree with everything. And also, it's also helping him out to maybe get to Ilya Dragunov, despite the outcome of what's going to happen next week, because we're going to have the NXT UK Championship match. But at least Jordan Devlin gets the win. And Andrews, he's good, but that's all he is. Don't forget, next week, we're going to see, in 2 weeks, we're going to see Pretty Deadly going against Mustache Mountain. So they have a promo by both guys. Both teams is the second time. This time is actually for the titles. Trent Seven and also Tyler Bate completely sure of what they're going to do. They're going to become the brand new NXT UK Tag Team Champions. And then Pretty Deadly, rather, they're like, nah, we're just going to beat them. And what's sweet about beating them once? Beat them twice. And this time for the tag team goal. So good promo by both of them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this just because, the first match was great. I think the second match will be hopefully just as good. And this one's going to have more story to it, because this team, they seem so sure of them, Mustache Mountain. They seem so sure. They're like, we're going to do it. Tyler Bate, he's like, we're going to achieve our Zen, our goal. We're going to become tag team champions. They're like, nobody can beat Mustache Mountain. They're so sure, so confident. They didn't seem any tension So I feel like that's going to show itself in this match, when they lose. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. So let's talk about a little bit of Gallus, because remember last show, the last thing that we saw was actually Dempsey and also Latino Man and Raja just like standing tall, and they attack this guy. So like you see Gallus are pissed off and they're gonna go after them. So this was good, like you see that like these guys won the match. It's gonna be probably in 2-3 weeks. It's gonna be trios, Gallus going against the other guys. So at least you get to hear from this, and they won a match. So they want revenge for what happened. Like last week. So that's
I guess we're gonna see who the real, family is of NXT UK. Is it Gallus or is it, Tio Man's family? Yes. I'm looking for. I like this feud, but I just wish that there was something for the winner or something on the line. I feel like whoever wins this, they're not gonna go for anything. It's not like whichever team wins.
And that's the only thing that sucks, because it will be cool if like, hey, whoever wins will become the new #1 contender after
it should be for the tag belts and for a singles thing.
Yeah, like something, or you can have not even #1 contender, but you can have a match. You can just get like a match with any of the champions. Like there will also be something good, not a good reward for them, but that's what we have. So now let's go to like the main kind of thing of the show, and this was unexpected for me because Sam Gradwell is never really main event, the show, or like being part of like a championship match. But you see that they're having a feud with Noam Dar. In this particular, why is it different? Because they're both heels. So, but in the end, they're trying to like sympathize more with Sam Gradwell and just be like an annoying, pretty obnoxious like NXT Heritage Cup champion. So that was good. And in the end, they go with like also Sid Scala, Johnny Saint was also there, and they said, well, whatever happens, because at the beginning the match was not going to be for the title, but Johnny Saint comes on and said, let's Sid decide, and whoever what he decides, I'm good with. And he made the match for the championship as the main event of the show. So I feel that they did good for everybody here, knowing that the championship was not going to change hands.
Oh, I mean, that's exactly it. You go, okay, even though he lost last week to A-Kid, who's a guy who we said is always putting guys over. He's always carrying feuds because he's a great talker, he's a great worker, and that's Sam Gradwell. He gets a shot here at the Heritage Cup Championship. Yeah, we knew he wasn't going to win, but I mean, they turned him babyface for one night. They made him, he was still the same character, but he was babyface. They turned him that, to feud here with Noam Dar. And, I like this. And I like Johnny Saint coming back. Because they're like, oh, hey, welcome back. And then he's like, let's Sid decide. And he's like, oh, it'll be a championship match. And they're like, fuck you. Why are you? It's like,
good. Exactly. Yeah. Like, it shows that, like, he just doesn't not have to be out there all the time. But, like, he's there for the main decisions when they really
hopefully that means that he came back. Not that we see him every show, but at least he's in the building and came back because, maybe COVID restrictions and everything, because he's an older guy.
They're a little better in the UK. Yeah. So that we're excited about that. So let's talk about Isla Dawn. Remember last week she was actually cutting the hair of Aaliyah James. So that would actually end up being into a match this week. And that was cool, interesting. Like Isla Dawn still coming out with like that little box that she has. She has the hair of everybody. She has Isla Dawn. She has Jinny's. She has like also like Dani Luna. So like you get to see like this is like the new transformation or like the witchcraft that she does. But the match with Aaliyah James pretty quick. Aaliyah didn't have a chance, and a new finisher for Isla Dawn, which is good. But in the end, Paul, like she goes to the box, retrieves, and gets something out of the box and returns this thing to Aaliyah James. So is that maybe recruiting her? I don't know. Or the transformation is still kind of like we don't know if he's gonna be
that's the one
or babyface.
I mean, we could speculate till we're blue in the face, to be honest, because I didn't understand it at all. The match, I thought, well, okay, was good because Aaliyah James, we saw her get a couple wins on TV, and so she had some momentum. Isla Dawn beats her, and that's good because you want to build her up to be a credible opponent for Meiko Satomura. So I mean, hey, that's fine because they even said it as soon as the match was over. This is a big win for Isla Dawn. Blah blah blah. Meiko Satomura. Okay, we're all on the same page here. Everything's good. And then she opened the box and she gave a hair tie or a scrunchie, whatever the hell it was back. I'm like, what? This made I had no clue. Like you said, I don't think it's a recruiting. Then Nigel on commentary said something about, she took something away, but then she gained a win here so she could give it back. I'm like, that makes zero sense. I don't think Nigel even knew. I think he was just trying to make sense of it himself. I mean, this was just so random. Just let the girl be creepy, get wins, and challenge Meiko. You know what I mean?
That should be the ultimate goal. That should be the ultimate goal. But we'll see what it really ends up being with Isla Dawn. But before we go to do that, we got to see Sarah Brookside and she kept complaining because she wants that championship match with Meiko Satomura. And Sid Scala said, "Well, you know what? You've been whining all this time. You get it. You're gonna get her next week." So Zaya Brookside even turns even more nauseous because she's like, "No, I'm not gonna have time to prepare. I'm not gonna have
Yeah,
enough time to be
I
ready."
like how he flipped out. Like this guy gets shit on so much by all these wrestlers. Then a girl comes in who's like actually smaller than him. He's like, you know what? Now I'm gonna freak out because
Yeah, no,
he's like,
he
you
stood
either
for
take,
himself.
he's like, you either take the match next week or you don't take it at all. So she's like, fine, and she storms out. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna see Meiko Satomura, Zaya Brookside, with her new gimmick as a heel. Again, like we said, just get these heels, line them up. And I think that, one through one, she's going to beat them all until it gets to Blair Davenport.
And that's gonna be good. I'm really excited, for this. Also, Saya deserves a championship match. Not she's gonna win it, but at least the championship match stand right there. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of Danny Luna was gonna have a match with also Alexa Hayes. But Danny, her music play and everything, she doesn't come out at all. So we get to we're wondering what's going on because at the beginning of the show also Danny Luna was supposed to come out. So I don't know what happened, and then we get to see actually Jinny addressing the situation, and she says that hey. I'm gonna take issues for myself, and my relationship with Joseph Connors is absolutely over. Is that I don't need to have him anymore. It's everything I'm gonna do for myself. So if
and
also she said
that's probably because her new boyfriend, he probably chopped the shit out of Joseph Connors, and he probably
it's
chopped
probably
it,
dead.
and he probably chopped the shit out of Danny Luna. So they're both in the hospital for a shoot somewhere.
Exactly, because she said that we're not gonna see Danny Luna for a long time. So probably that's what happened.
Yes, so Walter came in and he's like, "Ada," and he's
Exactly.
like,
It's get the hell out of here. So in the end, pretty decent match for Hayes and also Genies. He needed the win. What did she say, Paul? She's like, I'm gonna get my winning streak back on track. So we get to see the makeover right there, because kind of like the X Factor. Pretty much that's what it is. And 1, 2, 3, she gets the win. And at least Genie is gonna keep trying. He's gonna keep climbing that mountain to get to Meiko Satomura one more time. So that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, this is what's the one thing we say: if you have somebody, whether we like that person or the booker likes that person, if they're one of your top guys and you want to keep them hot, they might they lose a championship feud or title opportunity, whatever, but you still got to keep giving them wins on TV. You got to keep keep them hot. You can't just have them be off TV for 3 months and expect people to care. So that's what they're doing here with Jinny, and whether she goes to NXT or main roster, I mean, hopefully for her sake she stays right here. Because if you go anywhere out in WWE outside of NXT UK, you're just waiting to go to AEW.
Exactly. So I think that this is a good thing. This is the only thing that is a bit annoying is this Nina Samuels show. But this was quick, so it's what, 2-3 minutes? That's fine. Because Nina was trying to interview Meiko Satomura, so she's we're training, Emilia McKenzie said that, and that pretty much is going to mean
she's
what?
So why are you only 4 feet tall and our champion?
Yeah, well, the picture says it all. But in the end, final boss. So I think they're going to have a match with Emilia McKenzie, so that's okay. At some point, Emilia needs to turn on Meiko. And then just be I'm tired and I want to be able to heal, so that would be cool to see. But that was just what we had. So also Shawn Samuels and also Noam Dar did something really cool with the Heritage Cup. You get to see how they tape the name of Tyler Bate, they tape the A Kid, so they leave this Noam Dar. So that's gonna get.
I love when they're A Kid, they're no, a man.
Yeah, amen. Exactly.
Yeah, they're
exactly. So it was good. They keep it hot for us. Promo by Ilya Dragunov and also Rampage Brown. So they're gonna see this match in a week. This is gonna be really, really good. And Rampage Brown, he says that he's gonna crash Ilya Dragunov. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think that he's gonna be dropped out one more time of the championship. Who knows? But at least we get to see the intensity and the desire of Rampage Brown to be champion.
I really like this promo by Rampage Brown. The attitude is just a complete 180. Before, he always used to be the cool, calm, collected, confident. Now he's just angry. He's frustrated. He's why you had me here? You're asking me these bullshit questions. Oh, I'm supposed to be all happy and yee. He's no, I'm not. That doesn't get me anywhere. He's just I'm going to beat the shit out of Dragunov. He's I'm going to take his title. Then I'll have all the respect, that anybody wants or anybody needs, because it's all about that. The title gives me money. He's smiling and being happy and, whatever wrestling
that
matches.
Get me anywhere.
Yeah, he's I need money. That's why I'm here. Or not need money. I want the money. It's that's why I'm here. Dragunov cuts a promo again. Now he's the one who's cool, calm, and collected when he used to be the one emotional, flying off the handle. So the only thing I hope for this match is don't have it be one and done. Have it be some kind of screwy finish. Yeah, exactly. Give me at least 2, 3 matches out of this. I mean, that
Yeah.
would be great. And we
And
got to
in the
see.
end, maybe Rampage Brown becomes the champion. That would be really good. I mean, maybe, or I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean,
at some point.
either way, like the booking on this brand so far, I have faith in them. So whatever they do, I think will be good. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, exactly. So we're gonna see what's going on with Flash Morgan Webster, and they said that the shoulder is bad. He got an injury, so it's gonna be a few weeks. He says that he's out of action. I went to see Kenny Williams, and Kenny, of course, really confident and everything. So he just says, "Hey, man, like he's trying to like maybe make it taunt them, like hype them, like just bother them, just get annoying with them." And then we have to see maybe Mark Andrews and Kenny Williams are gonna have a match one more time. And I feel that like in this, Kenny will get the win because he needs it. He's the heel here. Mark Andrews already, he's just like there to put guys over, I feel. So it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one I'm kind of intrigued with because, like I said, Mark Andrews to me is the star of this group, and you're kind of doing this like a singles run here, maybe with if Webster's going to be out a couple weeks. So we really got to wait and see. This is another one too. Don't just give me one match. Have this be a little bit of a feud.
Yeah.
Devlin, I was fine with it being one match because, boom, move him on to something else. Let him maybe beat up Nathan Frazier or beat up somebody else and get a couple wins still when Dragunov's done with Rampage Brown. If that's the case, then you can do Dragunov and, Jordan Devlin. You have that lined up. But with this right here, this to me is a pretty good program. And I would say the winner of this should maybe go on to the Heritage Cup. So it might be Mark Andrews.
Yeah, it will be. We'll see what happens. But despite that, really cool stuff that we're going to keep seeing, in the next couple of weeks. So let's go to like this match with Noam Dar and also Sam Gradwell for the Heritage Cup. This was good. I don't think it was awesome. I don't think it was great, but at least we get to see both guys and they both look good. Especially
this to compare it to another Heritage Cup match we've seen before, at least like I would say, just kind of like the feel of it going into it. Was kind of like Jack Stars and Tyler Bate, where it was just kind of thrown in there last minute. You kind of both guys were the same. They were both babyface in that match. In this match, they're both heel, even though they tried to turn Gradwell babyface. And you thought, okay, that's not going to change hands, but I'm still looking forward to this match. It's still pretty cool. And, this was good. I liked, first round. Normally you always say, oh, first round, you can skip. Nobody cares. The feeling out process. Gradwell said, no yogurt.
Finally.
Yeah, he's like, no. He hit almost like a big knee or something. But he had the knee brace on. So they're like, oh, it was the knee brace. It was bullshit, blah, blah, blah. And then, he gets the first pinfall there. And, then Noam Dar's like done. He can't even stand. I love how Shaw Samuel's like picking up his arm. He's like, no, look, he's done. He can't do anything. As soon as the match starts, he kind of falls over, but he falls over and gets him in like a cradle and a small package. He kicks out eventually, though. Noam Dar, he was kind of playing possum, gets offense, makes a comeback, Nova Roller, 1, 2, 3, and then it's all tied up 1-1. And, third round, Gradwell, he goes down. But it's time, okay, we saved them there. And into the fourth, we get down to the nitty gritty here like we have in the picture, 10 seconds. I thought, okay, this is going to the fifth round. And I think there were 7 seconds left when he actually tapped, and I thought, oh man, that makes him look kind of shitty. If anything, I would have rather had him held out, kind of like Austin not tapping to Bret Hart. You hold out the time, he gets saved by the time again. Start the fifth round, just have him get pinned in the first 10 seconds of the fifth round. At least he held through and was like, no, I'm gonna fight through the pain. Because it makes him look like a pussy. It's like, dude, you couldn't fight for 7 more you know what I mean? I mean, because it's a world of kayfabe. Everybody knows he's not in real pain. It's like, come on, really? You can't just fight through it?
Pain.
Yeah. He's like, you can't just fight it. But I mean, still, we knew the title wasn't going to change hands. This was a good match. Sam Gradwell, I say this all the time with him. Every time in a loss, he still looks good to me. And Noam Dar, good heel champion. Like solid episode of NXT UK. No real complaints from me.
No, he's still the champion. We knew that he was not going to lose in his first defense. So yeah, I feel that like at least they gave us something interesting, and also like they didn't promote this within a week in advance. So that's I commend them for that, just because hey, they put this together quick, and they gave a chance of guys that maybe they don't main event. I mean, Noam Dar has done it many times, but maybe now it's Gradwell. So I like that. It was a pretty solid show. That's what we have for you guys. we're gonna be quick. We gotta go eat with our families and everything. But before we go, thank you so very much for being with us one more time. Happy Thanksgiving to every single one of you, and don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also, give the video a like so more people are exposed to the original Rope Break. And where else can they find it?
And guys, make sure you follow us on all of our social media. Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...